There is a technique that not a lot of people talk about in the world of DevOps and automation, and that is single file executables. So in today's video, let's talk about how they might save you a lot of time. So usually when you want to build an application for automating something on your server, you would use a programming language such as Python. But the issue with it is something that is very known, and it is that you need something like a Python runtime environment. Not only that, but you also need the dependencies to run that program. And that not only applies for Python, it applies for any programming language such as Node.js that requires Node. So again, the issue that that brings is that a program cannot run on all computers. So to fix this issue, you would usually use something such as Docker. What Docker lets you do is create containers of an application that already package things such as the runtime environment and dependencies. But Docker might just be a little bit too much for a single automation file. Not only that, but you need Docker on every server that runs that you want that program to run on. So that is where single file executables come in place. What they basically are binary files that already contain things such as the runtime environment and the dependencies, which is pretty convenient. Also, they're very easy to distribute across servers because they're just one file. Now, depending on the programming language that you're going to use, you can have different tools to get these binary files. For Python, there is PyInstaller, and that is what we're going to be using on this video for the demonstration. Okay, so this is demonstration. So this is basically a CLI tool that is going to let us run some commands on our terminal automatically. And this is using the subprocess module in Python. So what I want to do is turn all of this module into a single executable file. So we just need to figure out what is going to be the main file that we want to run when that executable runs. In this case, for us, is this CLI.py. You're going to run a command that looks like this. We're going to use the PyInstaller library that I actually already installed in this repository. And we're going to provide the path to our module. We're going to say that we only want one file, because if we don't specify this, it is going to give us many files, and we obviously don't want that. And just the name of our application. We hit enter, and we're going to have it very quickly built in this distribution folder or dist folder. So to run it is very simple, as to say, in this repository, we want to run a file that is under dist my app. Hit enter, and we are able to see the CLI tool just like this. So what does this mean? That I can already take this file and maybe pass it through SSH to all my servers. So let's do that. I'm going to take this file, the executable file that we just created, and I'm going to send it to a server that doesn't have Python installed. I'm going to do it through SSH. So once it is on my server, I'm just going to show you that there is no Python in this server, but I should be able to run this executable file as if I had Python, because again, this executable file that I'm running currently, that's the CLI that we had originally, has its own Python environment and the dependencies. So I'm just going to run one of these options just to show you it works. It's basically doing some commands for us behind the scenes. It should not be the point of this video. And let's wait for it to succeed. There we go. So that would be pretty much the whole idea. Hope you learned something from this video. See you in the next one.